We gathered our congregation that was here and our family, which was about 12 people, and went to the chapel. We watched the newscast on TV, and then as the wind started picking up, we gathered everybody up front and prayed for God's protection and to hold the walls of the building. And then when the lights went out, except for the cross, we gathered behind the cross, which there's a wall there, and we huddled to get together and just felt an awesome peace and presence of the Lord. And as the winds were picking up and things were chaotic, and we had some children with us, but the children did not cry, they didn't scream, they were fine. And we just all sensed that we were, no matter what was happening around us, we were going to be all right. And when we also noticed that the cross, even when the lights went out, the cross light didn't go out for a long time. And then when it did go out, it would still come on and flicker, reminding us of God's awesome presence and protection. When it stopped and ceased, we went out the back door, and that's when we noticed this huge tree that could have fell on the chapel. It had been there for over 50-something years. And yet, instead of it falling where we were, it fell the opposite direction. Immediately, we started giving out what we had to supply. We had water and some snacks that would hold them over till the next day. We gave out what we could. Just God is good, and in spite of the chaos, we reminded all those people who would come to us that in spite of the chaos, God will bring about good, and I firmly believe that. But His presence was with us the whole time. We just sensed that no matter what was happening around us, we knew that once word got out to the public, especially our friends and family and our friends by the way of computer, that people automatically was already praying for us. So I know that the strength that we gathered through the Lord was because people were praying for us. So that's how we were able to sustain our strength, is through the Lord and through people praying for us.
Okay.
Most of our staff was here during the day. We sent everybody home that wanted to go home about 12.
Yeah.
Then about 4 o'clock, about 3:30, we started sensing we needed to get into our place where we were going to stay. About 4 o'clock, we noticed the winds picking up a lot, and that's when we decided, okay, we needed to gather everybody up and go behind the cross, the protection wall.
Was it dark all around at 4 o'clock?
It was getting dark.
Yeah.
It was getting dark. Mainly the winds were picking up more and more, and then it started getting dark, and then the lights went out, except for the light on the cross. We had this one radio station. My son had his radio, and we listened to it all the way, this one station, and it's told us exactly where the hurricane was. It's getting ready to come up the Peace River. It's almost to a certain spot. You're going to begin to face really heavy winds. Next thing we know, he would tell us, all right, you're getting ready to experience the calmness of the eye. Don't leave where you're at. So he walked us through the whole time. Finally, it must have been about 5-something, everything stopped completely. But we didn't leave our place quite yet. We wanted to make sure that we were completely finished.
You're telling me about when you started to give away what you had. What kind of time was that?
Almost immediately, as soon as things was over, people were in the community was out helping each other here around the...
Was that the evening? Early evening?
Early evening. Immediately afterwards, people from the community was coming out, people helping people move branches and trees and heavy poles out of the way. And then we would give out what we had. We just said, here it is.
What did you have here?
We mainly had water and snack type food that would hold them over to the next day, because I knew that our canteens would come in immediately. I knew the Salvation Army was already in that process. So I knew that just enough to get them by. Most people did not want anything but water because you're in such a state of shock.
Yeah.
But you
You
have to
wanna eat.
keep drinking something to.
Yeah.
But most people did not want anything. In fact, people started bringing us stuff. People automatically started cleaning up our building immediately. We have a wonderful community, and they love the Army.
Would you say that as a result of this experience that more people were interested in what goes on here?
No. Charlotte County has been a wonderful supporter of the Salvation Army. Love the Army dearly. When we came to the Charlotte community 2 years ago, walking around in stores and whatever, people would come up to us and, welcome to the community. What can we do to help you? Outpouring of the community at different times. Wonderful support of the Salvation Army. So no, I was not a bit surprised that immediately they started coming to the Salvation Army Day. Not a chance that we were surprised, because we know that the Charlotte community is a wonderful county to live in. It's one of our best places, I think, as far as support for the Army. All of our congregations, a lot of them lost things.
Yeah, we've had at least 4 families are going to be out of their houses.
And yet they are here serving. In our service yesterday, after the service, our congregation was bringing us their tithes.
And you had your service?
We
We
had
had
a service in
chapel?
there.
Not as many people came because we couldn't pick up,
No.
but after our service, our congregation, one by one, was
And we hadn't even tried to take an offering. But they
Started
started
bringing
bringing their
to
cartridge
tithe and
envelopes up.
Amazing.
Yeah.
wonderful support, love of the Army of our congregation, wonderful congregation, wonderful support of the community. And then we told our congregation, well, you can go home and take care of your family. And they said, oh no, we need to start serving.
Yeah. Very good.
So Charlotte County is a wonderful community, and we will survive because
That's right.
God's presence wants us here, and we just depend on the support of the community, and they're wonderful. We love them so much.
Would you say that looking at the building, it will have to be demolished and rebuilt?
We know that this one will. We're not sure on the chapel. It depends on how extensive the not seen damage. We know we've got half of the roof is severely
But
damaged.
you don't know.
We don't know
Right.
how
The
much
rest of it.
the rest of
The
it is.
the dirt team and people
They
who are
think
with
it's
the
gonna be
Salvation
condemned.
Army have recommended that everything be
Yeah,
demolished.
I would think so.
But
And the electronics are shot on the building over there because of the water leakage.
Right, right.
and over here as well.
Sounds like you need a completely new building.
Yes.
But we've reminded our people, even though they've suffered, that even out of the chaos,
Good will come
good
from
will
it.
come.
As your word gives light, as you breathe upon us, and we dance before the sun. And our hearts are joined as one. Yeah, and our hearts are joined as one. As one for your way to come. As one for your way to come. And I will live my life to see the whole world in love with you. What a joy for us to lead the whole world in love with you.
As they went through this disaster. If you get the opportunity, have a word of prayer. Give them great hope. What we hope we can do is introduce them to God and restore hope. That's really what we're all about. And so I just take the lessons from Jesus in the New Testament, where there was all kinds of situations he came in front of. And what did he do? He asked people what was their situation. He talked to them, he heard their story, then he told them stories of others. And through that, hope was given and an opportunity to understand God's personal plan for their life was made an opportunity.